So I was watching my older videos today from over a year back when I first started making content about Japanese consistently and watching those videos. Yeah, they did suck. I was using an iPhone 8 with earbuds plugged in, like one earbud in my ear because I my mic in the iPhone 8 was broken. My other phone was also broken, so I was just talking through the earbuds. That was my mic, and was making those videos every single day. And my English accent was way worse. My Japanese was terrible compared to what it is right now. But I was making those videos with a smile on my face. I was getting comments from people that valued the advice, of people getting motivated by seeing my journey, by seeing me really just level up my Japanese, really just finally having it click for me actually going through those milestones of having my first Japanese conversation, of going and talking to a couple Japanese people in real life, of going to a Japanese italki class and really just speaking on it, feeling really good, of finally understanding anime without subtitles. But recently I haven't felt this part. I felt like I was just churning out videos and I was wondering what happened, what really took that enjoyment away from me. And I just saw that energy in me in those older videos, and I remembered why I even started teaching Japanese on this channel in the first place. So when I started learning Japanese, which is about 4 years ago at this point, I had zero guidance. I had no idea about how to learn a language. I thought I knew a lot, okay? I thought that, okay, it's just going to classes. That's how I learned Spanish at school. That's how I studied English at school. So that was just the only way that I knew. So I started going with it. I got a textbook, went to online classes, and after 2 years of that, I remember going on a walk outside when it was dark already, and I took a notebook with me. I wanted to journal, have a moody journaling session, maybe get to know myself better. And I wanted to try journaling in Japanese because I was watching anime earlier that day, so Japanese was on my mind. And I started journaling. It was 2 years in my Japanese study, and I wasn't able to really journal my thoughts. After 2 years of studying Japanese, thinking about it every single day, my Japanese sucked. I wasn't able to even create a coherent sentence, which really would be like A1 level. And I thought to myself, is this really supposed to take this long? I haven't skipped any classes. There's this party in Polish high schools which is halfway through high school, and I skipped two of those because they were on Friday, and on Friday I also had my Japanese classes. I didn't go, I sacrificed my social life, sacrificed core memories for the sake of studying Japanese because the goal was so important to me, and I wasn't even able to write one sentence down without worrying about making mistakes. This language was so important to me and was frustrating because I it was just nowhere near the amount of effort I thought I was putting in. So I low-key just started crying. I got really sad, really frustrated, really angry. I don't even know if I was angry at myself or at this language school or at the textbook company or at somebody who told me how to study language or at somebody who didn't tell me how to study languages. But I knew I had to fix something. I wanted to go to Japan one day, really just have an amazing experience, connect with the Japanese people because this language, I was so passionate about the whole Japan thingy. After that, I took Japanese a little bit more seriously, and without knowing it at that time, I started immersing. I heard about immersion, but nobody really taught me how important it is. Right now, when you go on YouTube, everybody is talking about immersion. Before, it wasn't nearly that mainstream, and so I was just thinking that, oh, okay, it's an addition. If I'm going to language classes that clearly I'm paying for them like a couple $100, clearly they're more important. Clearly, they're more helpful than some immersion. How does it even work? But I started immersion anyways, and suddenly it's like, whoa, what? Like, my confidence is skyrocketing. I can actually understand the language. And at the same time, there was a Japanese event going on. So that was my first chance to speak Japanese in real life, to real life Japanese people face to face. So I did it. And I actually was able to speak Japanese. It felt like taking the red pill, like enlightenment, like, whoa, what I just did a couple weeks back really just improved my Japanese so much. And I'm finally able to express myself in this language. Of course, it's not perfect, I'm making tons of mistakes, but I'm actually able to connect with this Japanese person standing in front of me. So I was like, holy shit, I made a video immediately titled How I Unlocked My Japanese. I didn't know exactly what happened, but I was sure I did something right. That thing that I did right was immersion. I wanted everybody to feel the kind of joy that I did. I was targeting people with my videos, the people that also struggled to express themselves in Japanese after following traditional methods without much success. Because if you believe it or not, if you're in this YouTube space, everybody knows about immersion. Everybody is making videos about immersion or is immersing themselves. It's like everybody knows how to learn a language these days. But it is just on YouTube. When you go outside, there are billions, millions of dollars poured into the language business, into the Duolingo apps, or like just random language schools that just teach you slowly with a textbook. Like it took me 2 months to go through hiragana at my at my language school that I went to online. Of course, the classes were cool, the teacher was really nice and cool, and I still learned a lot, but holy shit was it slow. But I thought that it's supposed to go this slow, I didn't know there's another way. So I thought to myself, alright, right now, I felt the most red pilling moment throughout my whole life, the most enlightened I have ever felt, like the realization of that the traditional methods don't work, that realization just spoke to me in a way that I thought, I have to spread this awareness. I have to make a language school myself. I don't know how that would really work, but I've heard there's this business program out there that could maybe teach me how to build a community. I've seen this cool platform online, so maybe I could try that. And the idea first started to appear in my head. I didn't know how I was going to make it work, but I was sure as hell that I will take steps towards figuring it out. So naturally, as I got the idea to start teaching people what I've learned about learning languages, what I've learned about learning Japanese, it was only natural for me to keep on learning, not just Japanese. That was obvious, of course I have to improve my ability, but also about how language learning actually works. I wanted to get even more knowledge on the different language acquisition methods, on the different ways that you could immerse yourself in Japanese, maybe doing Anki, maybe doing passive immersion, maybe speaking, outputting Japanese, how would that work? So I started watching other YouTubers about Japanese, other YouTubers that made videos about languages, about Japanese, and I started learning, acquiring, trying it out in my own study. I was like, holy shit, this actually works. This advice that I got from this YouTuber actually helps. This advice that I got from this language teacher actually helps. Let me make a video about it also, explain it in my own way. Maybe there's something that the YouTuber didn't really explain that well, but I figured out myself. Let me make a video on that. And I made daily videos. I made the language program, which wasn't really that good. I was just teaching all the stuff that I've learned. I even got a sale, I got a second sale, but then I was like, holy shit, I am able to help these people, but I'm probably not good enough at Japanese, so I stopped helping these people. I discontinued the program and I went and locked in even harder on my Japanese. But what happened throughout the next couple months, as I stopped doing YouTube, stopped doing this language school thing and locked in on my Japanese, yes, my Japanese did improve, but my life quality got way worse overall. I didn't have this purposeful mission of helping people. I was just selfish, learning the language for myself, to talk to girls or whatever. I wasn't helping anybody. I was just like this random guy that wants to learn Japanese. And I still had it in the back of my mind, like, what if I just stuck with it? if I had the business and if I had Japanese alongside it, it would mutually grow because I want to learn Japanese to improve the business. I want to improve the business. To improve the business, I have to study Japanese and just grow mutually. And that just made perfect sense. So I went back to it. I decided, okay, I have to make a new language program. I have to keep on teaching people making those YouTube videos. And thus I went back to making YouTube videos. I made a video titled How I Stopped Sucking Balls in Japanese. I was talking about my experience the last couple months really locking in on Japanese. That was really just my first couple months immersion, and my advice was fresh. Like the way I told this advice after just having experienced it was like really helpful. I got a lot of views, I got a lot of nice comments. My friends tell me that these videos are helpful. People commenting just, oh, like this is interesting, like I like your videos. That motivated me even more. And it just so happened that around this time I was about to go to Japan for the first time in my entire life. The trip that I've been preparing for on and off for the last 3 years, studying Japanese culture, not even studying Japanese, but still being interested in Japan, in Japanese, before I even started studying Japanese. And I was thinking about it every single day before falling asleep. I was visualizing myself at a rooftop in Tokyo, just looking at the stars and feeling Japan, like experiencing Japan. I had this visualization that I knew I have to make it a reality, and I knew that learning Japanese, doing business in some magical way will bring me closer to it, even though it's not completely correlated. It is really correlated, but of course there are some other obstacles. If you just learn Japanese, if you just have a business, you won't magically happen to be in Japan. And so I did go to Japan after having studied Japanese really with utmost focus and intensity. The most intensive period of Japanese study that I have done at that point. Right now I've been more extreme, but at that point that was like the 6 months that I was studying Japanese, that was like crazy. I've progressed so much. And I was able in Japan to hold conversations with natives for hours. There wasn't a time where I just couldn't communicate my thoughts. I was worried before that if I went to Japan, knowing with the Japanese that I knew right now, you remember that story of me journaling outside at night? I wouldn't be able to connect with these people. I knew some Japanese, I knew some expressions, but right now I was able to hold conversations. Of course, I wasn't fluent. I'm not telling you I went from zero Japanese to N1 perfect fluency in 6 months. I went from struggling, knowing some Japanese, but struggling to form sentences, worrying about making mistakes, to being able to express basically all of my thoughts when it came to daily conversations. I made Japanese friends, and that was the exact feeling I was chasing. I didn't feel insecure in my Japanese at all when I was in Japan, especially around Japanese people. In a weird way, even now, I've never actually felt insecure in Japanese around Japanese people. I've only really felt insecure about my Japanese around other Japanese learners. Just because this community is so toxic, right? If you go on one of those Japanese learning servers, people are just going to shit on you. People making videos just debunking polyglots of. But at that moment in Japan, I didn't feel insecure. I wasn't like, oh shit, like, am I missing the wa and the ga particle? Am I like speaking with the wrong intonation? None of that. The Japanese people were just appreciative of how much effort I've already put in Japanese. And that's what motivated me more to study even more, to really connect with them on a deeper level, which compared to that, people shitting on my Japanese, which happened all the time, right? If I make these videos, if I try to sell a product, people are going to try and tear me down just because first of all, a lot of people have this idea that being an entrepreneur, like having an online business, is a scam, and also that some other credibility issues, like people are just going to shit on you if you're a young guy making videos about languages, having this authority position, presenting yourself as a teacher, even though I'm not, of course, the best in the world. I'm able to give you advice that works, and for me that's ultimately what really matters. So naturally, after I went to Japan for the first time, after I had all those experiences that I dreamt of, I got even more motivated to study Japanese, to teach Japanese to other people, because the amount of joy that I felt, I didn't want to gatekeep it. I was just visualizing myself in the past. If I had went to Japan without the knowledge about language learning that I've acquired in the last couple months, if I went to Japan at that time, I wouldn't be able to talk to that cute Japanese girl that I did talk to. I wouldn't be able to make friends, to become friends with these guys. And I just thought to myself that there is a person that saw my YouTube video that changed the way they study Japanese and are now at a way higher level than they would be otherwise. Like, I changed the trajectory of their language journey and they were able to experience similar amazing things in Japan that I was able to. So that was just so purposeful for me, like, you know what I mean? That feel like, holy shit, this country that I love so much, that I care about so much, that I want to move to live in Japan one day, other people have the same feeling and I can help them achieve that. I didn't have too much people really helping me achieve it, of course. There were other YouTubers, but nobody really just took me by hand and told me exactly what to do. Nobody's advice really clicked for me that much. I had to figure out it by myself, make all the mistakes possible, and for every mistake that I made on this journey, there was a lesson that I could teach on YouTube and teach it to somebody who was just about to make that mistake, change their trajectory of their language study, and now they're on a good path. They're not wasting time anymore. That's why content is so valuable. That's why you being able to have even the shittiest camera with the shittiest mic, but just putting out videos on YouTube, teaching lessons, teaching what you've just learned is so valuable, because other people can learn from your mistakes. They don't have to ruin their life, to really be insecure, to really just go and struggle. You've already went through that trouble. You're able to help them out, give them a helping hand. And I'm so happy that I ended up sharing all the lessons that I've learned about Japanese on YouTube, because right now I wouldn't be able to give out the same advice. Like, for example, struggling with tolerating ambiguity. So you watch something, you don't understand what's going on, and you're still supposed to sit and watch through that whole thing. Right now, I'm not able to relate to that pain that much. I've been able to understand Japanese content 99% for the last months, and so it's not really that much of an issue. I don't think about, oh shit, how do I tolerate ambiguity today? How do I go through my study session? But when I first learned it, my advice was so relatable to everybody who watched. I wasn't the boring 60-year-old professor with 40 years of experience, PhD and whatnot. You can't really relate to that guy, he's so much far ahead of you. I was kind of in the role of an older brother who's just overcome a struggle, just found a fix, like how to beat a level in a video game, and he's telling his younger brother or his viewer how to do it, how he figured it out, and he's telling it with a smile on his face because he just had this realization. It's so fresh in his head. His advice is so relatable, so helpful, so motivating and inspiring. After that first red pilling experience about Japanese, after first learning about immersion, I didn't feel insecure about my Japanese. And even though it wasn't very good, like I was making tons of mistakes, I still am right now. I'm not fluent yet. I'm still the hardest I've ever been on Japanese, studying for hours every single day, really just locked in on Japanese, but I'm not N1 perfect score, native pronunciation or whatnot. But I don't think you're supposed to feel insecure about your language, not at all. If you feel insecure, you constantly try to fix things and you don't actually end up spending any time doing real study. You try to search for quick fixes, you keep watching how to learn a language videos instead of actually learning the language, instead of actually really, it's better to say, experiencing the language, living the language. You're not going to go and watch Japanese content and talk to Japanese people and approach that beautiful Japanese girl that you see on your trip to Japan if you think that your Japanese is bad. But on the other hand, if you're proud of your Japanese level, if you're like, holy shit, I've made so much progress since the last 6 months, I've really just leveled up my vocabulary, I've leveled up my pronunciation, still not perfect, but I'm miles ahead of the version of me from a month ago, right now is the best I've ever been. Let me go and speak to that girl because right now is the best I've ever been. Let me go and make that video teaching Japanese because right now it's the best I've ever been. Let me go and watch that piece of Japanese content because right now it's the best comprehension that I've ever had in that language. So it's not I'm not enough, it's I'm the most I've ever been before. And even right now, making this video after watching my older videos, I feel purposeful. That's the right way to say it. I feel energized. I feel hype about teaching Japanese. Throughout this whole process, I had moments where I felt, oh, let me just give up on this YouTube channel. Let me give up on this advice giving. Let me just study Japanese. And when I'm already fluent, when I'm perfect pronunciation and 180 points perfect score, when I'm already 10 years of living in Japan, when I already have my Japanese residency, when I already have my Japanese wife, when I already have my Japanese children, when I already have my Japanese home, when I already have my... You know where I'm going with this. You will never be enough. The best time to start is right now with the thing that you're doing. If you know anything about the law of attraction, if you know anything about changing your identity, if you have a dream, for example, be a language teacher, or be a fluent person, or be a football player, you're supposed to act like that language teacher right now, and that's actually how you get better at it. So I'm not going to get better at teaching Japanese, at teaching people just by getting better myself. I'm actually going to become a better teacher still by improving my own skills, but my own skills in that thing are nothing if I don't have the skill of teaching that thing. You know what I mean? So I have to improve teaching and learning at the same time. The same with being a football player. You don't get better by just practicing doing beginner workouts. You actually become a pro football player by trying to be a pro football player right now. You see what I mean? So you're not really that thing just yet, but you're acting like the dream version, like that person that you're chasing, that you want to become eventually. This is my philosophy, and this really is the only way to grow in anything. If you just stay at your current level, if you just act like who you are right now, you will stay who you are right now. And if you're not like a depressed human being, you probably want to improve. You probably want to become a better version of yourself as one step ahead. Not Tomek 1, not Tomek as it is right now, but Tomek 2.0. And after that, Tomek 3.0 or like 2.1, 2.2 or whatever. So I feel like I've been forgetting this. I've been forgetting that the real reason I'm making these videos is because I can save people from repeating my mistakes. And the further ahead you are in your journey, the more mistakes that you've been making. So I should be making right now even more videos, and I'm not really that consistent. I'm making, and I'm like, oh, I don't even have video ideas. Like, that's what I'm telling to myself. That's bullshit. I have so many lessons that I can share and help people overcome the struggle that kept me stuck in place for so long. Right now I can help people get ahead, learn Japanese faster than I did. So this is for my New Year's kind of, not resolutions, but let's say my recollection of 2025, my revision of how I looked at my last year, at my last couple years, at how my YouTube channel went, how my Japanese went, and really at how my character developed. Because the last few months I was, yes, motivated to make YouTube videos. I made the best editing, the best everything that I've done so far, the best ideas. I'm the most knowledgeable I've ever been, but I felt like it just lacked something, like this shard of, like this spark of fun, of this motivation, of this inspiration, of this purpose, of this soul that I was pouring in those videos, when I didn't worry about being insecure, when I didn't worry about how people are going to judge my videos. I was just trying to make the best video I could at that moment. And that's the philosophy that grows you. Just try to be the best that you can at this moment. No, don't try to be the best that you can. Try to be even better that you think that you can, if that makes sense, you know, chasing that identity. So right now, I'll keep on just trying to give the best lessons, be the most relatable, give out the best advice, have the viewer be like, huh, that just clicked to me after Tomek explained that thing about Japanese, that thing about immersion that I was struggling with. Right now I'm like, holy shit, yeah, that makes perfect sense, let me go and implement that in my own study. When I make a video about being social in Japan, about talking to a Japanese girl, even though it feels very scary. You're like, huh, okay, now it doesn't really feel that scary right now. I've just had this lesson from Tomek. It's like, okay, I see myself, I could actually be able to implement that in Japan when I go to Japan finally on my own trip. 100% I could implement the advice that I got from Tomek. So I'm not just making these videos for myself. Actually, what really makes me feel the best is not really what kind of makes me feel the best, but what makes other people feel good. So if I make a video that helps somebody, that's what actually makes me grow, makes me feel purposeful. And I think that every YouTuber should really do that. Don't make videos for yourself, make videos for the viewer, because that's ultimately what will motivate you. So thank you for watching this long gap. I really felt like I had to get this out of my head to really just get back on the right track, to get back on making the videos that I used to make. Not the same ones, of course, but even better, but with the same kind of motivated mindset, because that's what really was special about my older videos. Right now, making this one, I'm like, holy shit, this feels like just old Tomek, who wasn't worried about making money with YouTube, who wasn't worried about just editing perfectly, and that wasn't worried about his accent and his language. He was just trying to make the best video ever, not just to make it good, but to actually have fun making it. And I've had so much fun making this video right now. If you want to support me, check out the links in the descriptions. There are my programs that I'm running currently. There is JIQ, which is like how I study Japanese. I'm still building the thing right now, right? So if I don't have too many people join, I may do a different idea, but I'm planning to have it be like something that really prepares you not just to learn Japanese, but to be social in Japan, which was the most important goal for me. And there's also a link to my Instagram where you can message me, where when I go to Japan again, I will meet up a bunch of guys and coach them, make them social, using the Japanese that they've already been learning, make them social in real life, break through that introverted personality, really just be able to talk to Japanese people, use the Japanese they've been learning. I helped one of my friends do exactly that. He was like, oh, I know some Japanese, I study on Duolingo. It wasn't even that bad. I was surprised he learned so much on Duolingo. But he wasn't talking to any Japanese people, and I met up with him. I was like, yeah, dude, you just gotta do this, you just gotta do that, you gotta have this mindset. And I taught him, I showed him how to do it. He was like, holy shit, bro, I went on a date with this Japanese girl. That was like so sick. I was like, wow, my advice really does work. Like, this is that easy to change somebody's life. It's that easy to change somebody's trip. Like, think about it. He had like the coolest experience ever of going on a date with a Japanese girl. It wouldn't have happened if I didn't meet up with him, if I didn't teach him what I have learned myself, the mistakes that I've just been making. I taught him how to avoid them. The insights that I just got about being social in Japan, I taught them to him straight away. So this is my current philosophy about Japanese, YouTube, and life in general, and I'm really excited about where this channel is going to go. I want to just be the most proud, make the most helpful, inspiring content ever. So thank you for supporting me, thank you for watching till the end of this long video. This really means a lot for me because I poured so much emotions into the video. You can subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching and see ya.